grand final. This is arguably one of the most insane matchups we could be getting today, Jorby.
Oh man, we've been building this one up, and well, every time we try to build this up, usually it delivers, and I am more than excited for it. Falcons, one of the best teams in the world, coming from the Middle East against G2, the best team in North America, almost encapsulating an incredible season with a major win last time in Copenhagen. Didn't work out for them. And G2 haven't really been tested in Swiss so far. They've played against Power and Gladiators. Falcons not been the same. Des talked about it. They had to take down BDS, who a lot of the talent have winning the entire event. But we'll see, because G2 are a force to be reckoned with as this game is underway. First 30 seconds, not a ton for either team just yet.
Yeah, not too much going on, although Falcons are trying to make the most of what they can with the few opportunities they've had. Far and few between, though, in this first 45 seconds. A demo finally coming out. You see Killers going up. It's a pass and play to break past the defense. Falcons already around G2.
Love Killers faking the touch, going for the demo, and you saw Daniel, he got warped by Killers. It's only taking out one player, but you don't always have to hit the player. You just got to get him to hit the brakes. Daniel had no boost, no way he could recover off it. Beautiful job from Killers opening the space.
And I already had decided, I felt like this game one was actually going to be a lot more telling of what the series would look like compared to most series. A lot of the times you feel that game one is a bit of a warm-up, but both of these teams are, I feel like it is fair to say, they come in with the energy they want to keep for the rest of the game, and that is exactly what they are doing.
Yeah, Killers, he's got all the energy right now. That first touch baits in beast mode to challenge it. Killers doesn't go for the challenge, goes up the wall, pops it right over him, and Killers is all over the place in the first minute.
I talked about this yesterday too. I felt, you know, Killers and Ruas, although as incredible as they are on offense, the moment TRK starts to get extremely involved is when this Falcons roster starts to become so much more difficult to hold back. You see him lurking in the mid there, prepped and ready to go. Great win on the 50 off the backboard, but Atomic takes it for the clear. The cheat up attempt to turn this into a play for G2, not quite what they want. Bumped off for their efforts in 3:25. Falcons holding this up 2-0, potentially 3-0, but this one's sent off.
TRK just stuffed the ball, and it was again a Killer's push that totally stuffed G2's rotation. Atomic boostless. Daniel able to get back to the ball, feathering on the catch. Falcons, great job when you got Killers playing first man like he is. G2 constantly on their back wheel. Atomic with a full tank. That's a heavy touch. Easily challenged by Ruas. Falling down. Leaves the double. Killers puts it in. Falcons all over G2.
Falcons know what the plan is. That is work together in teams of two to break away around the G2 defense. And unfortunately, this is the second time they've caught Daniel. Not caught Daniel off guard. They forced him to become off guard.
Oh, it was Atomic's heavy touch too. Opened up that gap for Ruas. And then Ruas again, it's not just the move, like Atomic gives up the touch, whatever. G2 are able to get back. Ruas still has to make a play, so what does he do? Fake the double, get it to the twin, no problem.
The Twinner G coming out once again. Game number one, 3 unanswered goals for G2, looking to close that gap. Beast mode trying to drive this one forward, but Ruas, easy catch off the backboard. Flip reset to pass over to Killers. He's just gonna try and slowly roll it up.
Jeez.
He meets that one up in the air, off the ceiling, and G2, they just can't keep control of this ball.
I mean, he left the ball. Nobody from Falcons was ready for it. Ruas was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He tried to recorrect himself. Killers was like, fine, I got the midfield boost. Look, I read that touch. No problem. It doesn't really matter what Falcons are doing. They're winning every touch right now. G2 have no answer. Beast mode, TRK just crashes right into him. Ruas faster, Ruas down, and Atomic pops it over Killers. Man, what an opening statement from Falcons. G2 have these 2 minutes to really get things figured out. And Daniel trying to find a way to pluck TRK off the wall, but the touch quality's not there right now for G2.
I will say there are some solid bumps starting to come through from G2. There's another attempt at one right now. And so there's a level of aggression that G2 are trying to put on field to force an open opportunity.
There you go.
Not the quickest touch from Daniel to get down, but again, in the back, you're seeing these bumps come through. This could be a floater, a force shot on through, not quite in. Another to clean it up, and it does. Beast mode puts G2 on the board.
I mean, you called it perfectly, Herc. You saw those bumps coming through. TRK got Goomba stomped, and that you didn't see that on the replay, but right when it happened, then G2 started the press. Daniel faked the first touch. Atomic went up. Beast Mode comes in on the reset, dropped it down, and rlesports had to come back to defend the shot because it was coming in hot, and he had to wrap around quickly with speed. That's a tough touch to make at that speed, trying to get back on defense, and Beast Mode just pops right around him and puts it in. There's the G2 we were all expecting to show up, trying to respond to this Falcons team.
It's a faster G2, which is what they want. I feel like G2 plays a lot more clinical when they're at the speed that they demand, but Falcons on the flip side of things here, forcing their own pace of play to stay clean. Still a 2-goal lead for themselves. Atomic over to Daniel. Daniel gonna take this to the ceiling, back down to himself. He did have enough space, but still, rlesports does a great job of anticipating where G2's second touches go, and it's an easy collect and an attempt out to transition.
Fully confident on defense to receive that, but he just dropped the ball. Beast Mode, top shelf. This game is not over.
Beast Mode is the player everyone has been waiting to see wake up. He is the offensive monster of NA, and dear Lord,
wow,
that placement could not have been any closer.
Killers has to be so upset because he's like, dude, the one touch that gets like an inch away from me, you're gonna upper 90 that? Are you serious? And now it's a question mark. Our Falcons came out with authority to start this game. Everything they were doing was working. And G2, the ship is finally steady, but oh, a little hopeful on the rotation, and you better get punished for that. rlesports will score.
Look at this one. So you saw Falcons just kind of lurking a little bit in the mid, but that bounced 50, and rlesports just immediately turns around, says, no, I'm gonna force the challenge through, places it back left, and then makes G2 too awkward to make the save. 17 seconds, though, to hold on to this ball. Maybe they can extend this lead here, but it might be too little too late.
I question the aggressive positioning there from Atomic and Beast Mode. Both of them trying to play Daniel's 50, and then they end up getting burned for it. If Daniel does get that 50, maybe they can play it. They took the risk. It didn't work out, but neither did the start of this game. Falcons.
For years, it has been NA versus EU, and now teams are coming in from MENA, stepping up to the plate, looking like they can take down the monstrosities like the G2s of the world. And, well, they're in an attempt to do so with a 1-game win in the series on the board.
This would be one of the most impressive Swiss runs by any team if Falcons not just take down BDS, one of the favorites to win the tournament, but also the other favorite to win the tournament in G2. They had a great start, but G2 had an answer. Oh, he barely got the save. It doesn't matter. Killers is there, and Falcons pick up right where they left off.
Falcons doing exactly what we've seen in the past, forcing the touches through. This one almost went out with Atomic's touch, but again, what Falcons have been so consistent at is following each other up, whether that ball might not go in. Somebody is there just in case, and that is what keeps them so consistent.
Beast Mode saw an opening. Couldn't beat TRK to it. He got a perfect catch out to rlesports, who dumps it out. A mid-air pass to Kaliers on the reset. The aerial acrobats finding a way through. Beast Mode only looking for the bump, but it opened up the space for rlesports. He cuts off the clear angle and goes for the dunk. He knew that G2 were coming on the right side, so he blocks off the path, orients his car. There's no way Daniel was getting that ball out.
This is what I'm talking about. Falcons are just too consistent. It's the placement of the cars. It's the passing plays to each other. Everything is so connected and clinical with their ideas to get past G2. And now, only a minute into this, G2 already at a 2-goal deficit, trying to find some sort of an answer.
Ended up being a dead play there. TRK just didn't have enough in the tank. Killers has been such a force so far. He'll get the catch. Not a catch, actually. He just booms it downfield. rlesports forced to do that as he has to collect the midfield boost. Heavy touch from Beast Mode again. Where's the touch quality from G2? This simply cannot keep happening if they want to get out of Swiss in 3 games. He just drops it down in Beast Mode. That one a little more understandable. You're expecting it to come down. But G2 really struggling to get a hold of the ball. Falcons are doing what they want right now.
And I do gotta admit, Daniel playing a little bit more passively than we've seen in the past is probably not where G2 wants to be right now.
Well, when your touches aren't working out, you lose that confidence, right?
Exactly.
So you can't take that aggressive position. Beast Mode can't be all over the pitch like we watched him do this split in North America.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a confidence thing right now, and it's Falcons forcing them to be uncomfortable, which is something G2 isn't quite used to. Also, another pause is going to come through. We'll come back in just a few short moments, but this might be a good thing for G2, a quick second to breathe.
I think it might depend on what's going on.
Hair flip all day.
The Beaver's a few years after 2001. But hey, it all starts to become the same the farther you get away from it, right? G2 and Falcons underway again. And hopefully no more technical pauses. We get to the halfway mark of game number 2. The name of the game is simple for G2. Protect the ball. Beast mode rolls around. Killers getting around that first touch. Atomic, it's a dump pass. Daniel is playing deeper back. He was ready for this counterattack. Good position.
Great positioning off that one from Daniel. The one player that the Falcons have been able to force off guard, get past him quite a number of times. Starting to clean things up here. Ruas, great positioning. Atomic, greater save. And here comes Killers trying to float this one down from himself. Reset to attempt the shot, but Atomic remains strong.
That's what Killers has wings on his car.
He's different.
Or a gyroscope or something. I don't know, but how is he able to just feather his way around so cleanly in the air and still get a decent opportunity off that flip reset? Continues to impress.
His control genuinely is otherworldly. I don't know if it's considered a hot take or not, but his control, quite literally, in my opinion, is up there with Zen.
I think a lot of people are on that. I mean, you know, a lot of people in the community also backing Falcons in this event, thanks to the Twins and how effective they are. Killers taking front and center stage for the team, and TRK will take front and center stage on the ball. Roas going, leaves that double. He didn't really have a follow-up touch, but Clears avoids the bump, bumps Daniel out. Will force Atomic to have to make the clear, but he went for a heavy touch. Following it up, though, was the more important part. TRK keeps it away. Beast mode read the touch. And G2 doing a lot better here, reading the push from Falcons.
They're also doing a lot better with how quickly these challenges are starting to come through. You saw Beast mode already up, anticipating the shot opportunity. 1 minute left to go. Atomic back to the backboard. Ruas has it read. Beast mode going to keep this one in favor of G2. Around the corner, Atomic over to Daniel. Daniel shot off target. And Atomic and G2 work together to keep that pressure in their favor.
There's really nowhere for Daniel to go, but the bounce was a little risky because Atomic had to go chase it down. Beast mode didn't have any boost and needed some time, but Atomic was able to get back. Still a little risk attached to it. He's got no boost now. Will do his best to give this ball to Daniel. Killers is ready for it.
30 seconds left. G2 gotta score here. You gotta start to catch up. Otherwise, Falcons could be headed to match point. And attempting to hand G2 their first loss in the Swiss. 12 left on the clock. Atomic up to the mid. TRK has it read and cleared. And for now, Team Falcons can hold on to their wins in the Swiss stages. This one hits the ground. They're just outplaying G2, and it's something we've seen in the past. I will say the fact that yesterday SSG did take Falcons all the way to Game 5, which felt a little interesting, and you would think G2 would be able to do the same, but again, it is coming down to forced confidence issues, although after a save like that, you gotta be feeling a little good about yourself.
One save, G2 would love to play that high-flying, aggressive offense that they're known for. Part of their mark as a team, their identity. They haven't been able to play that game. Daniel just trying to go for a bump again. That's a couple times G2 have really played that. Go for the touch, immediately follow up with the demo, and the last 2 times they've done it, Falcons are ready for it. Avoided him twice. Killers last game at the end, he did it, and that time Roas there avoids the demo. And Falcons actually dropped the ball, but G2 respect it completely. And the demo puts him right in the spot. Beast mode will carry it out. That just shows you the respect Falcons have in this series and how G2 have been struggling.
I did talk about this, exactly what you were just making mention to yesterday with Cole on broadcast, how the Falcons can become so quickly adaptive, but also aware of any patterns that a team against them starts to try and place out onto the field. Once you do it twice, they anticipate it to be coming in a third time. So anytime G2 has tried to do any sort of a play on them more than 2 times, Falcons immediately become ready for it. So it's forcing G2 to become so much more creative offensively to get past the Falcons defense, and you can see it with the passes coming through. Back pass over to Daniel, and a huge open clear from TRK almost into the net, but Beast Mode catches it.
Daniel received that pass into the corner. You had Falcons completely stacked, and Killers, he is absolutely chewing them up. Thanks to Roas and TRK getting that flash out. Roas gets the demo on Daniel, and Falcons are absolutely crushing G2.
G2, you would think, would anticipate these demos a little bit more, but it is so hard to know where and when they are coming. Falcons looking incredibly strong and clean. G2 just trying to catch up and match the pace, but they are falling behind. Killers all the way up. Falcons go 2-0.
It almost feels chalked at this point. Atomic came up expecting Daniel to play the ball. Daniel goes off of it. Killers is acting like Daniel's not even there. He just plays it. Atomic is now completely out of position. And where's Beast Mode? Nowhere. I mean, this is crazy. This should not be this easy for Falcons. It should not. There's the demos. Do G2 have this? Air dribble pump, but you can't cringe on them either.
Nope, you can't. And realistically, G2 just haven't even been able to follow up their own demos. You saw a second person trying to attempt to finish it, and here it comes again. Atomic trying to lead the bump play. You're just not fast enough. Falcons have outpaced G2 in every which way possible on the field, forcing it to become harder and harder for G2 to catch up. And at this point, G2, they are grasping at straws. They're missing the ball now.
Beast Mode, he went for the bump on Roas. They don't have any confidence they're getting these challenges.
It's all gone.
They're just trying for bumps every time, and Falcons, they're like Neo. Easy dodges. They can slow down time, apparently, just avoiding everything.
That might be a before 2001 reference for some people.
It might be actually after 2001. Like, that might be the year. Someone fact check me there. Oh my goodness.
Well,
what a save.
Y'all fact check. We're gonna watch and see if G2 can actually catch up. Ruas said no. You guys have time to keep looking these things up. Killers back up to the backboard. Atomic, at least this time, was able to get the read. Ruas infield pass over to TRK, and Falcons 3-0.
Oh my God, kicking the dirt in their face at this point. Beast Mode takes the widest angle possible. Atomic doesn't get the pass out to him, and that pass coming back from the corner from Roas, that was ridiculous. And then the shot to the right side. I mean, what are you supposed to do if you're G2? That last play they had on offense, that was the best they had looked. They opened it up with a demo. They had the shot, and guess what? Roas, one of the best defenders in the world, if not the best defender in the world, is there to shut you down. Killers forcing them out, and Falcons are truly showing you right now why they are one of the favorites of this tournament and why they just may be headed to the playoffs after 90 seconds.
A minute 27 to go. G2 at a 3-goal deficit and potentially no more wins in the series. Falcons, as the day and the weekend goes on, have only gotten stronger. Killers over to himself, tries to redirect this one as an infield, and G2 finally can catch this one.
Roas happy to just force Daniel to beat him to the punch. He does. Beast Mode playing tight. He's got to avoid Roas on his way. Atomic clears the path with a demo. But there is Roas again with a perfect 50-50. Atomic has to hurry back and avoid TRK and avoid more flying Falcons as it comes right back. And they miss the ball! Atomic and Daniel get tied up, and it's a freewheeling goal for TRK!
Team Falcons are them in the London Major. They have made the top of the top teams around the world look silly.
Took down BDS, and they're making G2 look a little lesser than we were expecting. And, you know, I can't give all the credit to Falcons. I don't think G2 have played too well in this series. I think it started poorly, and it got worse. And the Falcons, though, they look great, and that's the problem. That's why it's 4-0 against what Kibbs was saying, the best defense. And G2 has been non-existent The touch quality hasn't been there. The rotations have not been there. They straight up whiffed the shot just a few seconds ago. And Falcons, absolutely stellar performance throughout Swiss. That one goes in. Why not? You've earned it. A top 8 appearance, another playoff shot at a bid for a major championship.
Yesterday, Falcons go 7-0 on SSG. Today, 5-0 on G2 in Game 3. Looking to go 3-0 in the Swiss stage. 4 seconds away
from
claiming playoffs. Killers, one more to keep it going. Team Falcons, they have demanded respect from the world, but not only that, they have officially earned it from every single person.
I mean, if you were still doubting Falcons, you certainly can't now, all right? If you're doing that, look, you're waffling, all right? But there are no waffles. Falcons absolutely pancaked G2 in this series. On to the playoffs. G2 will have to go to round 4 and try again. And I gotta say, I wouldn't want to play G2 after that.